like in, in more of the videos, I'll be going over Unreal Engine 2, how to use Maya with Unreal Engine compared to using Cinema 4D. So, anyways, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make some 3D text, but let's make it nice. So, what we have to do is take a plane and just put it down. Some people use floors or whatever you want to use. I think using planes are a lot more easier. And then make whatever width. Oh yeah, that's about measurement too. See this right here? It says in. I want it to be in feet. So what you have to do is go to Edit, Scale Project, and make sure this is at feet. Okay. Now you got to do that 2 more times. You got to go to Project Settings. You got to change the project scale to feet, and then you go to Preferences and you go to Units. So once I'm there, there's Units, Interface or whatever. Units is right here. You go to Unit Display, and that'll change the feet, and you're all set. And then grid spacing. How do you do that? Is there such thing in this program? Yes, there is. Grid spacing is quite easy. All you have to do is click here. Actually, you go here to the dock thingy, go to options, and just configure this. Go to back, go to world grid legacy mode right here. So if you're wondering how I did that, I went right here to here's perspective mode. And to get out of perspective mode, there's a little dock looking type of button up here next to where you move around with. It's all the way over, you can't miss it. Click it, and you just click options and configure. Once you're at the viewport, you just hit legacy mode, and then you're set. And make sure it's on all of them. It is. Alright, so once that's on legacy mode, you go back there and you can change the legacy mode settings, which is very, if you want like a let's say you want a scaled object from here, I'll show you. Unreal Engine. I'll open it up. So grid spacing. I ended up losing all my files in my other maybe I think they have it still. Let's see. Nope, I don't have the projects anymore in here, but I'm gonna add this open world demo collection. It's a very good collection. Huh. It says it's compatible with it. Oh, because I gotta make a project, that's right. I'm just gonna launch it. Start over, I guess. I'm just gonna start over and show you guys how to do that stuff too, and I'm gonna show you how to make a character and all that stuff too. Anyways, so you want this, so grid spacing. 100 feet, that's fine. Because when you zoom in, let's say you zoom in right here, grid space, it gets smaller and bigger, you see that? Lines, you want only one line, and that'll be fine. That'll make everything perfect. Major lines, that's fine. I mean, it's like how many lines you want per. So if I say 20, it's gonna give me a lot more. You know what I mean? I'm gonna leave it at 10. But make sure lines is at 1. So that'll give you your 1-to-1 scale in Unreal Engine. Come on, launch, man. There we go, now it's launching. Okay. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to make some 3D text. And we're going to import that into Unreal Engine. I don't have Word Machine right now, so I'm not going to be going over on how to make the custom terrain, but that'll be in my next video, so keep tuned. Okay, anyways, give me some second here. Okay, so something's going on. Here we go. Just gotta load it. And everything's fine. Alright, so to add a 3D text. Oh man, that's real. I can't take that. I don't need Unreal Engine right now. That'll be in my next video. I'm just going over and how to do Cinema 4D right now. It's just too much RAM right now. I mean, I probably should limit the amount of RAM I'm using for this. I'm using 18,000 megabytes for this out of 24,000. But I don't know what's going on. Acting slow right now. Alright, something's going on with this. Alright, hold on. My Cinema 4D is acting up. I think because I opened up Epic Games. Oh yeah, it's using up a lot of my CPU. Okay. So to add 3D text, you go to this little thing right here, and you just go right here, and look at the 3D text. You go to extrude NURBS, that on there. Here, let's go YouTube. Let's say you wanted to like add some bevel to that, make it look a little bit better. You go over to movement and you make sure that says 0. And then you go, I think, yeah. Let's say you want it like 15 feet. I mean, you can make it 30 feet, make it look a lot more 3D. I usually go 60 feet and just keep it like that and make it looks poppy like that. And then you go to caps for this. You go to fillet cap, and you go fillet cap. And that makes it look a little bit more lively. You can add the amount of steps, whatever you want to do. I would keep it at 1. Like, it makes it look a lot more. I mean, that looks pretty cool, but you can keep it like the best setting can be like probably 10 feet. like there, and then like right there. It looks pretty good. And then what you do, how would you like put things on there, right? Like materials right here. Here's your materials right down here. You just double click and it makes a new material. You go to color, make whatever color you want. You can go to texture, you can go to image. I have some materials in here. Let's go with text. I'm gonna go with text number 10. Put that on. Oh, don't put it on there yet. You see, that's just what you did. This is just the user created. If you go over to here, you can make it editable. So you can edit and stuff. And once that's editable, you can drag it. You can drag that right onto there. And then let's say you want it just on that one. It should make it, hold on. As you see, it's just on the front there where we want it, where we fillet it. So for some reason it's not. There we go, there it goes. You have to drag it right onto it, and then what that does is it makes it so you can have two textures on it. It's pretty cool. So let's render it out. That's what it looks like. I mean, it's pretty basic. If you want to look better, you can go to your render settings, go to output, save. How I got there is right here. Here's render settings. Can't miss it. It just has a little gearbox. And here's the render to picture viewer to render your project. And here's the render view. What it just previews it in the render. It renders it with the settings, but it doesn't save it. And the file format you want for this, I'm just gonna go with the JPEG. You can go with the PNG if you want, whatever you want to do. And I'm gonna make the width 1920 by 1080. And I'm gonna keep it all the way it is. And to make it look a lot more nice, you go down to effect. You're gonna add ambient occlusion, and you're gonna add. Let's just see what ambient occlusion does. What it does is it adds shadows and whatnot. Makes it look a lot more nice. That's what they use in game engines. So that's we need more than ambient occlusion. We need global illumination now. Okay. Now we need some light, or we can't see the text. Put the light in front of it and then render it out. See how that looks a lot more realistic? Now let's add environment to this. I'm gonna first add some sunlight, and then I'm gonna add some environment stuff, physical sky and whatnot. So right here you go to where it looks like some type. It's like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 one over. It says floor. Okay. Oh yeah, and I got another thing I gotta tell you. When you see the projection right here, I got here is I just went to my texture tag, and I'm going to change it to cubic. That makes it look like a lot more realistic than UVW projection. It depends. You can use UVW projection if you're just using a picture, like a image, but if you're using textures, make sure to use cubic, especially for game engines and whatnot. Okay, this is not, I'm not quite yet done with this. I also want to show you guys how to make a house. Okay. Oh yeah, to export this, let's just see what it looks like now. Now that's what it looks like now. That looks a lot more better than what it did, I'll tell you what. But, I mean, it's very easy to do. It's not that hard. You can make your text look phenomenal in no time. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to export this as a thumbnail, and I'm gonna export this as a thumbnail and put it as the thumbnail of the live stream, just for fun. YouTube, we need to go back. We need to go back to text, make some text. YouTube, Cinema 4D tutorial. So you go up to your text. Make sure you can see it. Shit, this one, you hit the extrude. I'm just gonna go like this and connect objects and delete. Oh yeah, I know why. Huh. Okay. Took away my white text. Just gonna leave it the way it is. I don't think you can do much with that. I mean, I think you can. I've done it before. Give me a second. There we go. I know what to do now. I did it. So what you have to do, instead of you highlight both of them and control to them, you go connect objects, and it's going to give you just that. Don't go connect objects and delete. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the text. Cinema 4D tutorials. I'm just gonna make this as quick as possible. I'm gonna add some material to it. I'm gonna add some grunge 25 and make it edible. Okay. I'm gonna add that as the first one. And then I'm gonna go low material, sky, landscape 29. Perfect. Okay, so everything is, I think, done. No, not everything. We forgot to do the UVW mapping. Make that cubic. Make sure that's cubic. Okay. What else could I do? Let's connect those and delete. Connect those objects, I mean not delete. We'll connect them and delete afterwards. What happened? There we go, got it to work. And then add the sun. Make it now. Details. Add some shadow. Add some dust. Let's see what it looks like, guys. Okay. I'm just going to save. I'm going to save this as YouTube thumbnail. And I'm going to render the picture viewer. Let let that do its thing. Wonder how you change a live stream thing. There it is. I don't like that. I'm gonna change it to file, save as. Render settings, output 1280 720. Let it do its thing. I don't know, it's not changing it, so I guess it's just gonna stay like that. I don't know why it has the borders, but Okay. So let's check, see if it works. Then go view channel. I want to see quick. Nice. Okay. Now let's go on how to make blueprints and model from that. So let's go to options, configure, go to your top, go to image, and I'm gonna go to Google. Let's see here. Let's see what image we want to make. Let's say, it's a good one. Something simple, but what we can make. Let's make a house, house blueprint. Simple house, nothing too big. Something like this. Yeah, but no, I don't even need the measurements. I'm just gonna. If you wanted to do this to measurement, you would have to do each one with squares, with cubes. I'm just gonna do this one. Just gonna save it. And here we go. So that's set. You go up here to pen, and let's start making it. See what I'm doing on this, following the path. It's not too good, but it's for tutorial purposes only. And there you go. So see, you're like, oh, that looks just like it. How do you do that? Okay. So now what you have to do is you got to go back to your extrude NURBS. Click extrude NURBS, and then send this baby to the extrude NURBS. And voila. You take this, you hit 0 to there, and it takes out any chunks of extrudeness. Make sure it's all at 0. And then the middle one's your height. So let's say you want a 10-foot house, 10-foot wall, or ceilings, or whatever you want to say. Okay? So there's that. Now, let's begin by making the inside. How are we going to do this, you think? Well, it's pretty simple. You go back to your pen tool, you zoom in a bit, and shit. And you would go from, I see that this looks like a bedroom with a kitchen. I'm just gonna start modeling right now. Obviously, there's 2 stories. I mean, I can add stairways to it too. You just go from here. Make sure it's all the way around. Make sure it's on the inside too. Well, I can change that in a little bit. And then okay. So let's go to extrude NURBS. Make that extrude. Make that 0. Make the height bigger than that, so let's make it 13 feet. And go here, here. Make sure to zoom in. Make sure it's all level. And then you go to bool. You add your first one to it first. Then make sure it's like that. Just make sure that's edible. Make sure this is also edible. And drag it on there like that. And boom, you got your first room. Like nothing. I'm not done with this yet. You're gonna go here, make that like that. Connect objects plus delete. Let's go. Now let's make the living room area. Pretty self-explanatory, whatever. And then you go back to your extrude NURBS. Make that extrude. Sure that's at 0. And make this one 13 feet. Go to your bool. Add that to there. Make that edible. And drop it on. And voila, you got the other room. I mean, you can obviously make walls there, but it's up to you. I like the way it is. I'm not going for the exact look, I'm going for kind of a user look. And there's that. You're like, how you make, like, let's say, a roof, or add nice texture to it. I wanted to add some texture to it. Let's say landscape 28. If I wanted to add some texture to it, first I'll make it edible. Connect objects plus delete. Okay. And that's that right there. But you're saying that's not done yet, though. Definitely not done. If you want to add texture to it, you're just going to throw the texture on there. Go to front. I think back it is. No, it's front. Cubic. I'm trying to find out. Okay, to do this, you have to go to go here, go to your pen. Sure it's clicked, and you would go, I believe it is, where is it? I think it's to forget how to make it so you can just texture on one side. Okay, here it is, inverse selection. Should be around here somewhere. I don't understand why it's not doing that.